Okay, this is a screen capture of the process of taking a Unity 3D project, which export as an Xcode project, and making it compatible with the SAP internal build system. So what we're going to do is we've already set up the build system and a Perforce project to contain this this project. I'm not going to go into that. We've already set up a Hudson build job that is building from that project, so I'm not going to go into that other than to say at the under the project's build folder, you can see the last build was actually failed, number 24 here. And if I go into that, I can see that the reason is that this last commit, I actually deleted all the files, which caused it to actually rebuild, but fail, of course. So I'm going to go back to that. The project is MIC 3D Retail, and we're in the dev code branch. Now, over here, I've gone and taken Kevin's latest build from the share under the Kevin share, and I have dragged it locally to make things a little bit easier. So all I did was drag the folder onto my local drive. So it's localized. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill into that to where the build classes are, and hang on there for a second. Now I've prepared a little zip file to help speed this process along, make sure nothing goes wrong. So from the prior effort, I'm going to delete the dev file and into the trash, and I'm going to explode my little zip file that has the pom.xml, which is key to the build process, as well as it's made the folder structure as it's needed. Most importantly, the Xcode subfolder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and copy everything from Kevin's project. I'm going to hold the Option key. I'm going to put it in the Xcode folder. So now it's just copied in there. Alright. So at this point, I'm going to go into Perforce, and I'm going to take and refresh my local workspace so that I can see that my files are in here. Alright, they seem to be in there. Now I'm going to take and on the dev, I'm going to check out everything so that it's available and unlocked for editing. So this
please report to the principal's office.
So this should get everything in a read-write mode. Let's see. Check out, and why am I not? Oh, I need to actually add them. I need to mark for add. And then alright. Well, this way I can make sure they're all in the add list. Alright, now I should be able to go into Xcode, so I'm going to go into the folder that is the build projects in. Under on device, I'm going to right click and open the Xcode project with 441. Let it do its thing for a minute. Another thing I want to do is show the pom.xml file. I'm going to also open it with Xcode. And just to show, the key things here are the group ID and the artifact ID have to be the same as the product name. So we can keep that handy over here. So I'm going to go in and make sure my target is selected, and then I am going to go to the build settings, and I am going to look for the product name, and here it is. I'm going to make my product name Unity match what was in the Palm iPhone, and then I'm going to go to the build locations, and I'm going to look for the per configuration build products path. These settings are wrong. You need to make sure that they actually include the effective platform name. So I'm going to add that part of it, configuration effective platform name, and click off of it. So both debug and release should say build / and then debug or release - iPhone OS. So that looks good. Now I'm going to go to the debug info, and I'm going to look. You can see here under debug it's showing dwarf with dsym file, but under release it's only dwarf, and that's not correct either, so it needs to be dwarf with dsym file. Now once I've got that fixed, there's one more thing we need to just double check. I'm going to go into the project, I'm going to look for the info.plist, and under the bundle display name, I want to make sure that this is what's going to appear on the iPad underneath the icon. So make sure that that is what I want it to be. Kevin already made that correction, so that's good. So alright, everything's good. I'm going to do a quick test to make sure it's compiling locally. I did a clean. I'm going to do a build. This generating dsym takes a little bit. Okay, it succeeded, so that's good. No build errors. If there's build errors, we'd obviously have to stop and figure out what's going on. So now we're done with Xcode. I'm going to go back into Perforce, and I'm going to right click on the pending change list, and I'm going to submit it. Get rid of all this crud. I'm going to say this is the Lunar Glide final build, and hit submit. Now it's transferring everything to the Perforce repository, so it's going to take a little bit here. While we're waiting for it to upload, I go back to my build thing. If we want to see where the build is in the queue, or see how thick the queue is, I'm going to go to the top level of the Hudson build page, and luckily for us, there's nothing sitting in the queue, so this should go pretty quick. Alright, so Perforce has put everything up on the server. It looks like it didn't give us any errors. It's double checked. You can make sure that in depot mode you can refresh the project, and it should see all your stuff in there. That's also a good indication. Also notice over here that the build has kicked off, build number 25. So I'm going to wait and see how that one works. Alright, happy day. It's blue, which is successful. So after a successful build, and these links will take you to the last successful installer page. So if you click on that, you get our installer page, you get a little email saying that everything's back to normal, which is what we would expect. And at this point, you would distribute the link to this page to your clients or sales folks or whoever's going to be installing this on the SAP network, and then you're good to go. Also, that same link is in the email of the successful Hudson build, just for forget. So that should do it. We're in good shape now.